आज मैं बोली देती हूँ, मैंने ब्राउन रंग लिखा है मैंने ब्राउन रंग लिखा है. Both of them were too similar.
Yeah.
The person who came to his house was Daku, my movie Daku Maharaj. So it was like I would say a weird coincidence of two things happening together. 2025 has started on a very high note, especially with the film doing really well, Daku Maharaj.
You've also become the first Indian to be featured on UAE's Top magazine. What is it that you think has that global appeal?
मेरे गुरुज को शत प्रणाम, my guru, Shashmita Sam.
You got selected for Miss Universe and then you were underage, so you could not actually go forward.
Americans, they're very hardcore, and Donald Trump was our boss. Girls who prepare for Miss Universe, it's as equivalent to any sports person preparing for Olympics.
Honey Singh.
Genius. He gave me that first chance. I'm so proud of Diljit. And we were supposed to work together, actually, in Ambersariya. There was this film, but we couldn't. And my director also told me to go to the strip clubs. So only in films where it's like a female-centric film, like a hate story for the girl actually gets to perform. If it's a male-driven film, like a Daku or something, you know it already, that the film is about the hero.
Article online that says, you charge 3 crores for a song in Daku Maharaj.
When you are asking for a particular price. Negative article, or in the end of the day that it's a paid article done by another artist or whatsoever. I have one small request also, that all the fans who come at night outside my house, but in my case I'm more of like love at first sight person.
Really?
Yes.
Has it ever been that you fall in love at first sight?
Yes.
Do you think you're misunderstood sometimes? Welcome to Humans of Bombay, Urvashi. And I'm very happy कि ये आपका पहला podcast है. So very grateful that you give us the opportunity. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, yeah.
Yeah. How has life been for you? What has been going on? What's the latest with Urvashi?
I think 2025 has started on a very high note, especially with the film doing really well, Daku Maharaj. And then also being the #1 fans' favorite star on IMDb. And at the same time, too much work happening. And then, you know it, that when the year starts with such a big bang, so then, it's a good sign.
It's a good sign. Okay. So tell me a little bit about the Urvashi, जो हमें नहीं पता है. You grew up in Haridwar. Although on Wikipedia कुछ और ही लिखा है, तो hopefully after this it will be corrected. You grew up in Haridwar, Uttarakhand. आपका बचपन कैसे था?
Bachpan was very usual, like more focused towards studies. I was a science student, physics, chemistry, maths with computer science. Family में especially most of the people, they're very like a toppers. तो शुरुआत से ही पेरेंट्स से हमेशा पढ़ाई में ज़्यादा ध्यान देने के लिए बोला, और पढ़ाई का बहुत शौक भी था. बट उसके साथ साथ एक्स्ट्रा को करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज़ भी बहुत ज़्यादा स्कूल में, लाइक बास्केटबॉल. एंड देन I was the head girl of my school. So शुरुआत से there were like too many responsibilities in the school as well. And then when I was studying in the college, then I was modeling at the same time. I won Miss Universe India. So it was again like, always, life has always been about micromanaging multiple things at the same time. So yeah, like modeling also, preparing for Miss Universe, and studying. So it was always like that.
ये जो कहते हैं ना कि पेरेंट्स या फैमिली मॉडलिंग से दूर ही रहने को कहते हैं. So did that happen to you कि your family was encouraging? How was that process? क्योंकि एक साइंस स्टूडेंट जो मॉडलिंग कर रही है, काफ़ी यूनिक सेटिंग if one can imagine. तो वो प्रोसेस कैसे रहा आपके?
Actually, I completely agree with you. However, like my grandfather, like in my family, they were very much, they forced us, not exactly forced, we all happily studied, but the culture was very much कि पढ़ाई करनी है, but at the same time they never looked down upon different sorts of fields. So it was a mixed reaction. There were a couple of people who were like, we haven't done this before, entertainment industry, तो कैसे होगा, क्या होगा? But everything turned out to be a good, we met good people, good things happened. So everything that in the end, they all were happy, but even my grandfather, they were very open-minded, like when it comes to other fields as well. But it was more of like mixed, they weren't really sure, but at the same time they were always like कि चलो, you have to follow your passion, so you should always follow your passion.
So आपको कब पता चला कि ये मेरा passion है?
Passion, see, when I was in school, so we like me and my friend, I have my best friend, one of my best friends, he lives in Vancouver, British Columbia now. So बचपन से we always used to keep on watching Miss Universe, Miss World, हमेशा से. And then we used to keep on asking questions एक दूसरे से, like, how will you answer this particular question? How would you answer? And at that time, we were very small. We had no stilettos. तो मेरे फ्रेंड की मॉम की हील्स पहन के, मेरे पैर इतने से थे, stilettos का साइज इतना था, but पहन के we used to practice all kinds of walk, like evening gown walk or like swimsuit walk, or like how, because every outfit, there are multiple stages like in the competition, so how are we gonna walk? So it was always about that, like we were very, very much about the pageants.
And when you got selected for Miss Universe, and then you were underage, so you could not actually go forward. How was that for you? Because you came so close, and then it was taken away from you. So how was that?
Thankfully, I'll always say, mere gurus ko Shat Pranam, my guru, Sushmita Sen, and then the second time when I was crowned by Lara Datta. So I've been really fortunate कि दो Miss Universes ने मुझे crown पहनाया और जिताया. They both have been my mentor. तो पहली बारी, it was not like that, I still have my crown, I still have my prize money, or everything, whatever winner को जो भी मिलता है, I still have it. It's just that कि according to the particular rule, I was 21 days shorter than the age. I was 18, but according to Miss Universe standards, because Americans, they're very hardcore, and Donald Trump was our boss. So at that time, I had to be 18 years of age by 1st of February, but my birthday comes on 25th. So I was 24 days shorter than my age.
So how did you feel?
It was, obviously, it doesn't feel good, because you've been really, thinking about that particular moment all throughout your life, and then you're eating, breathing, and living in that Miss Universe zone for a very long time, and then you're preparing really hard. And to be honest, girls who prepare for Miss Universe, it's as equivalent to any sports person preparing for Olympics, because it requires a lot of practice and a lot of dedication, determination, because you have to follow a certain diet. You can't really break any such rules. You have to be of certain size. You have to be there are a list of rules which we have to follow. We cannot date, or we can't get pregnant, and there are so many multiple other rules as well which we have to follow.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's tough to even get there.
I think when you're representing your country, India, it's not an easy task. It's a responsibility. And wherever you do have a responsibility, a lot of people might term it as, oh, it's tough, it's difficult. But in the end of the day, you're representing your country, and it is such a big pride. So you really don't think about it's difficult or it's tough. You just think about your country and you want to give your best.
Yeah. Love Dose was a very significant, I think, moment in your career, because it really, I think everybody stood up and took recognition, right? That who is this? Who is this girl? Obviously they knew of you, but not in that light. Hi guys, I hope you're enjoying the podcast, but I'm going to stop you here because I've noticed that so many of you watch our podcast but don't subscribe. So please pause this video here and go and hit that subscribe button because it really helps us grow. And with your support, we want to bring you many more fantastic conversations. Thank you. And with that, let's get back to the podcast. What are some of the fun BTS moments of that shoot?
While shooting Love Doors, we went there like for around 8-9 days, जिसमें से सिर्फ हमने एक ही दिन शूट किया, बाकी सब दिन यो ने सिर्फ घुमाया हम सभी को कि चलो अभी यहाँ पे चलते हैं, लेट्स ट्राई लेबनीज़ रेस्टोरेंट, लेट्स ट्राई टर्किश रेस्टोरेंट. तो वो मेरी लाइफ का पहला एक म्यूज़िक वीडियो था. तो हम भी बहुत ज़्यादा कंफ्यूज हो गए कि हम काम कब करेंगे, कि लाइक आर वी ऑन अ वेकेशन और आर वी हियर टू शूट. So, but then he was in a like that's his style. तो शायद और अच्छा वीडियो बन के आता अगर प्रॉपरली और अच्छे से शूट करते, क्योंकि एक ही दिन शूट किया. आई थिंक 1.5 day 1.5 day. तो थोड़ा और बेटर आ सकता था, बट एनी विच वेज पीपल लव्ड इट, अप्रिशिएटेड इट, एंड it made me who I am. So
only gratitude. How has your equation with Honey Singh evolved? क्योंकि उनका भी quite a up and down journey रही है, from the setback to the comeback. How has your equation been with him so far?
Equation has been very positive, and it's more of like that I have respect for him. Like I only and only have respect for him for what he did for me. And I think life may you will get multiple chances, but for me, according to me, like who gives you first chance that's what is really important, and he gave me that first chance. So for me, he'll always be truly super special.
And are you still friends, and do you catch up often?
Not exactly like catch up, because he's also so busy. He's currently on a tour, like his India tour, and then but yeah, we try as much as we can
as adult friendships.
We try, like if we can meet or something, but it's very hard because he's so busy.
And what is your opinion on his fallout with Badshah? Was it creative differences? You worked with both of them. So was it creative differences? Was it ego? Kuch aur hi tha? What is your opinion?
I think all these differences happened way before I entered, or like, I had my Love Doors. It was before pre-Love Doors. So I really don't know exactly what it is. I think it's about the brown rang, I think. Like कि किसने brown रंग लिखा है? आज मैं बोली देती हूँ, मैंने brown रंग लिखा है. मैंने brown रंग लिखा है. Just kidding. So I think it might be creative differences or whatever, but I don't know. It happened pre-Love Doors, so I really have no idea.
Okay. आप दिलजीत दोसांझ की बड़ी फ़ैन है, and he's obviously breaking through the international global markets. Is there any artist that you want to work with internationally?
Yeah, I'm so proud of Diljit, and I really hope it happens. Like, working with Diljit will always be, a great synergy. And we were supposed to work together, actually, in Ambersariya. There was this film, but we couldn't. So I really hope it happens in future. Let's see. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about your career. You won multiple awards, including a very prestigious Dada Saheb Phalke for the Excellence Award that was provided. Do you think Bollywood has given you the recognition that you deserve?
I think if you ask any artist, none of us, we are satisfied. We want more and more and more. There's always this scope for कि नहीं थोड़ा और better roles मिलने चाहिए, या I want to work with this particular director, or my role should be like should have a lot of meat in it. But I really don't know. But yeah, of course, I always feel that it could have been way better, and there's always scope of improvement. And yeah, definitely not satisfied.
There's this debate ki outsiders don't get that opportunity. You come from a small town and you've reached here. Do you think that opportunities were kept away from you, or was it given to you as it would anybody else?
I see. I would say coming from outside, getting all these things also I consider as a blessing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that, you know, I think I'm so grateful to be able to get whatever I got throughout the years, to be able to work with most of my favorite directors I've worked with. But at the same time, I really feel that, when sometimes I do feel that when I had participated, when I was in Miss Teen India or Miss Universe India, there were so many multiple girls who were there with me. But it's not always like that all the girls are, they all are trying so hard, but only few of them actually get that chance. So for me, in my eyes, I really feel that if you're given that chance, always do try your level best. And that's what I've been doing. Whatever, be it a smaller chance or a bigger chance, for me, every opportunity is a big opportunity, be it a small or a big. And I just like to see things through my eyes. And if I feel that it's a big opportunity, and I just go all out and I give my best.
Yeah. And I think that's what you did with Hate Story 4, for example. It's been your boldest movie yet.
Yeah.
Do you think that it opened up doors for you? और वो जो stereotype आ जाता है ना कि एक particular role पे ही लोग आपको देखने लगते हैं. Was it that?
No, definitely. It was a female-centric film where I played a supermodel. And in fact, like we had a lot of sessions where we pre-prepped the character. But when we were shooting it in London, my director also told me to go to the strip clubs, because there's this particular scene where I'm doing a pole dancing. So he actually wanted me to see the body languages of all the strippers or all the girls who do pole dancing, like how confident they are, the way how they talk and everything. So yeah, I do remember that time that he sent me to go to that club and actually see their body language, or like how they're monitoring, or what is their personality like, or how their their facial expressions or their body language. So yeah, it was a revenge story about a sister, because like for the it's a completely a story about the love between a brother and sister. So usme there was a lot of prep also, but then there was a lot of scope for me as a performer. I got the chance to perform, so I was very happy about that.
What about looking forward, right? Like you're crazily popular, especially even on Instagram, the kind of following and the kind of engagement. Anything you post basically goes viral. But why do you think it is that, that the roles that are reserved for some, like as they call it, the A-listers, have not come your way so far?
I don't know, like I believe I think the directors are the best people. They know what to offer a particular artist or whatever. Like if we talk about my current film, they were different kind of characters in the film. So in this film, one was a pregnant lady's character, and the other character was the girl who was a police officer and had action scenes. So definitely for me, it's not that one character is bad or the other character is bad,
Yeah.
but I would always pick and choose an action oriented, because that I love doing action. And I loved doing I loved playing a police officer's part. Unfortunately, a lot of films are male driven, so only male heroes get to do that part or get that ample space where they can actually showcase what they have. And they have a lot of, even if you talk about the characterizations, so they have a lot of layers in their characters where they can portray. They have a lot of scope to perform. Girls, they don't get to do that too much. All they have is a couple of scenes, or just like a song where you have to do a dancing part or whatever. So only in films where it's like a female centric film, like a Hate Story 4, the girl actually gets to perform. If it's a male-driven film, like a Daku or something, you know it already, that the film is about the hero, and hero is the person who is going to be a highlight in the film or in the story. since the start till the end.
So you wear your heart on your sleeve, right? Like you come across as somebody who, what you see is what you get, and you're very open about how you speak, how you are, how you behave. Do you think you're sometimes judged?
I think not just me. A lot of artists, they all are judged because in the end of the day, we all are public figure, and people are judgmental, and yeah, I mean, so it's up. I mean, one should never think about if other person is judging you or no. One should always lead the life and do what makes you really happy, and that's what I do. I never think about other people of what they're thinking about me,
Yeah.
because then I can't lead my life
Yeah.
the way how I want. So yeah.
So what makes you happy?
What makes me happy?
Yeah.
Oh, my peace, my calm. That's what makes me happy. My work really makes me happy. My passion, all these things are my passion projects. That's what really makes me happy. And making my parents proud really makes me happy.
Yeah. There's this article online that says, you know, you charge 3 crores for a song in Daku Maharaj, and you're climbing your way to become one of Bollywood's highest paid performers. What do you have to say about that?
By the way, let me tell you that a lot of times when you are also asking for a particular price, there's so many other artists who are readily available to do it in half the price.
Yeah.
That's also when you let go of projects,
Yeah.
or that's also when you kind of have to, let go of a project,
Yeah.
or maybe something which you really wanted to do, but you're not doing it because you feel that you deserve X price, and the other artist ends up doing it half a price,
Yeah.
or maybe 1/3 or 1/4. So to each its own, whatever makes whosoever person comfortable. But it's a good sign, and I think one should always charge whatever they deserve.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. There's a speculation that some of your paparazzi moments they're staged. What do you have to say about that?
I don't know. I mean, nothing is staged. You mean like airport?
I don't know.
moments?
Like, there's just like, oh, this looks staged. Like, she did it for the paps. Just a few things online.
Okay.
And you probably are unaware of it, but it's just
no.
interesting to know from the other
No,
side.
because most of the time I'm always walking or saying hi and hello to them.
Yeah.
So there's nothing staged about that.
Yeah.
So
What's the most bizarre rumor you've heard about yourself?
all the negative articles about me, I think all of them, they are bizarre.
Like what? What's one that is top of mind? That, how did you write this?
I really can't think because, whatever, like negative article or, in the end of the day that it's a,
It's just, yeah.
it's a paid article done by, like, another artist or whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, I mean, well, like, I don't know, but yeah, like, but I just don't understand it sometimes. But yeah, it is like that. It is what it is.
Here, it's sometimes it's a difficult yet challenging thing to, rise above nastiness, for example, where somebody, say, deliberately puts an article in a paper, whatever it can be. Right? How do you maintain that?
You do feel hurt.
Yeah.
But then I think life is about living it with a purpose, and when you have that purpose, you just follow that path.
But when you're speaking, it almost seems like it's too perfect. So I'm just trying to get your, that the qualities that allow you to actually overcome, because a lot of people who are watching will not be able to do it. Agar ये articles इनके बारे में लिखे होते या there was this thing that I'll put an article here, or I'll do something to sabotage you, people can't deal with it. So how do people cope if they're going through something similar?
I think I started working when I was 15. So I've been into this showbiz for about like 15-16 years. in the showbiz. So I think with time you kind of try to learn it, but it takes time. It's not that an overnight thing. So it, yeah, I mean, it took me time. Like I'm into this showbiz for 16 years, and then still day by day, it takes time to reach to this point.
And you have such crazy fans. I know there were fans down also when you came up the building. Any crazy fan encounters?
Crazy fan encounter, but I have one small request also, that all the fans who come at night outside my house, so I would just request them to not come, because I do love my fans, but sometimes, you know, when you're living in a house and then they are outside, I don't know, like you just don't feel kind of safe also. Being a girl, being a so I just want to say that I do love that equation with my fans. Whenever I meet them at the airport, maybe, you know, they come outside or they want to click some selfies, pictures and everything. I do love my fans. I love all my fan clubs. A big shout out to all my fan clubs. But sometimes there are some moments when, like, you know, you're kind of alone or whatsoever. So all these moments of like at night, you know, they are outside house, which doesn't feel safe. So that is something which I don't appreciate.
Yeah, that's important to say, so people also understand that
Yes,
it could be scary for you.
Yeah. I think for any girl in
Anybody,
general.
yeah. But any one fan encounter that has stood out?
Someone passing, it's a big gate of my house.
Yeah.
So, like crossing the gate of my house and trying to enter the building.
Yeah.
So, all of that. So, one has to be careful also.
It sounds scary. You've also become the first Indian to be featured on UAE's Top magazine. What is it that you think has that global appeal, right, in you? What is that factor that you think makes all of these projects possible, all of these, you know, these massive kind of feats happen?
I think the start of my journey has only been, it kind of opened all the international doors for me with my Miss Universe journey. I have friends, I would call my sisters, all over the world because of Miss Universe. And then also, you know, going to Cannes Film Festival for about like more than 3 years, and Paris Fashion Week, all the international prestigious events. I think it kindly, like, it just like people, it adds up to your global fan base. And
Yeah, that's
I think it's how we work. If we work internationally, we're gonna have a lot of international fans as well. So that's how
it works.
Yeah, but I think the starting point was Miss Universe.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go to a rapid fire. You have to just give me one word for each. Okay. MS Dhoni.
A good decision maker.
Okay. Kareem Benzema.
Super hard worker.
Ori.
Hyper intelligent.
Honey Singh.
Genius.
Yeah. Salman Khan.
Right now, Sikandar.
Yeah. Shah Rukh Khan.
Self-made brand.
Yeah. Okay. We come to the next section. You have a very strong association with sports, whether it's unveiling the trophy at the Eiffel Tower or like being at super high profile matches and like all eyes on you, right? What is it that makes this connection with the sporting world so strong for you?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just like any other Indian, and you know, like when a baby is born in India, the parents, they want that baby to be a cricketer, or maybe like a actor, not just like actor or cricketer. There's so many other professions, respected professions as well, but most of the times it's a cricketer. So cricket is like really, you know, most
it's like
loved.
A religion.
It's a religion. We all, you know, have this inside our blood when it comes to cricket. So I'm just like any other Indian, try to enjoying the sport, and I really love when it's a amazing clash going on between the two teams, and then you know, you're cheering for your team, and when your team ends up winning, so it's like, you know, a great joy which
Yeah.
we all experience, and then watching it live, it's really nice.
So how does it feel like being the person, who's like unveiling the trophy or, just
Trophy was really nice. I was in Paris, Eiffel Tower. Uh, so we were there for like about 2 days. So first day we had like a press conference, unveiling of the trophy, and the second day was the proper unveiling of the trophy, official photo shoot with the Eiffel Tower. So it was really good and very nice. I kissed the trophy, and I just hold it like a baby, and I really liked it because it was such a nice experience, and I really wished if my country could win that trophy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said earlier, you're somebody who's very, very heart on your sleeve. What you see is what you get. You also, take sometimes things that are said, like controversial things, hands on, and say that, okay, this is what it is or this is what it's not. What is your approach towards, speculation or things that come up about you in the news? You respond to them. Like you have responded to them. So how come that's your thought process?
I mean, depends on the intensity of if it requires my clarification, or if it doesn't require my clarification, I'll just like,
Let it
I
die
will
down.
not pay any attention to it. But if I feel that if there is something, if my people or people who really love me, they want to know the truth, and I should be coming up and I should just declare what I feel like about a particular situation, then obviously I will always clear things out, or I will always speak about the things. But if I feel that it's not necessary, then I will stay away from it.
Yeah. Like you made a comment, when the whole Saif Ali Khan episode happened, you came out and just said, look, I'm sorry. Clearly I've like offended people and I'm just sorry. And it was
Yeah.
refreshing to hear.
Yes.
Talk to me about that. How did that go?
Actually, it was more of like, even the media in general, whatever information they were providing, it was not clear, and it was not the real information. Different news channels, if you open up different media outlets, they were providing some different narration about that particular incident. But then, I mean, I think it was a great coincidence of a particular timing where my movie's title also, kind of was very similar to what had happened with him.
Yeah.
So I think there was this confusion
Yeah.
about that. People thought that I'm talking about, our movie title and what happened with him. I mean, it just unfortunately, like both of them were too similar.
Yeah.
The person who came to his house was Daku, my movie Daku Maharaj. So it was like I would say a weird coincidence of two things happening together.
Yeah.
So, and then, I mean, that's about it. And I was also very happy. I did some things. I just said particular things. But then after that, by the way, my mother was in ICU.
Oh.
Yeah. So all these things happened, and 27th January, my mother had an accident, and then she was in ICU. So now she's recovering and she's better.
Okay. Yeah.
Recovering.
Yeah. Sometimes you say one thing and it's just misconstrued into an entirely different thing. It does happen.
Yeah.
What about love and relationships?
Love and relationships. I think it's really very important part of life, and I mean, you're truly blessed if you have love and relationship in your life.
What do you look for in a partner?
I look for a deep understanding, a good partnership, a good friendship, most of all. I think a good friendship is most important.
Yeah. And have you ever experienced that kind of love?
Yeah, of course. But I feel that I think someone who understands you, or someone who deeply understands you, and a friendship in the end of the day. And Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's about that. Sometimes it's like they say that opposite attracts.
Yeah.
Sometimes they say, oh no, they both have a similar kind of thought process, or they
Yeah.
both like doing similar kind of activities.
Yeah.
That's when, people really vibe together. But in my case, I'm more of like, love at first sight person.
Really?
Yes.
Has it ever been that you fall in love at first sight?
Yes, love at
Wow,
first sight. I'm very
okay.
love at first sight person.
Okay, that's amazing. Do you keep saying understanding and things. Do you think you're misunderstood sometimes?
I think most of us are.
Yeah.
But then because people, they really don't know who we are as a person, so they just see the outer surface level, or they just see the superficially, like, okay, this person is so and so it's gonna be like, they just see the person and they make their judgments without even doing an interaction or whatever.
Yeah.
But I would say, I think most of us are misunderstood.
Yeah. And do you feel the need to kind of maneuver yourself to make yourself more understood, or are you just happy doing what you do
No,
and
I
let
mean,
it be?
I don't feel the need.
You don't feel it?
Yeah, exactly, because all my fans who are there, they know who I am. So people, if they really want to know me, they will dig deep down and do some research, and they'll eventually know that, okay, Urvashi is a nice girl.
Yeah.
So I don't have to prove here. Any which ways, I never had that kind of mindset to prove a point to someone else.
Yeah.
I'm here to just make myself happy and to do good work responsibly, and to follow my passion.
Yeah. So if you were to complete the sentence, Urvashi is, what would that sentence be? Who is she?
I don't know. Like, I don't know who's Urvashi, but whenever I have a diary and I write it, excellence is my key. Excellence is the key.
Okay. And that's what you write.
I try to pursue excellence.
Okay. We're down to the last few questions. If you had to go back to your younger self, who was, this girl who was studying computer science and math and things like that, and tell her, give her some advice, what would you tell the little Urvashi?
Advice? That's really hard. I mean, like, the kind of advice I'd like to give little Urvashi. At that time, too many advices coming to me, so I don't know. I really can't think of anything.
Any advice?
Yeah, I really can't think.
Did you ever think you would be here as little Urvashi?
Never.
Never.
Not
What do you
really.
think you would become?
At one point, I wanted to be a gymnast.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and then aeronautical engineer, gymnast, sometimes IAS officer. So it like kept changing.
And then finally ended up.
Finally, yeah.
Okay. Last question. So many women watch this podcast and look for inspiration. What would you say to them?
To all the women out there, you are your own superpower, and you are a beautiful gift from God. So follow your passion and live life to the fullest. That's it.
It's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you
I
so
hope
much.
you enjoyed your first podcast experience.
Yes.
Okay,
I
thank
really
you.
enjoyed.
And we
Thank
look
you.
forward to having you again.
Thank you.
Thank you for being the best community, and we'll see you in the next one.